Hi, ladies and gents. This is Lucky, your trusted mathematics and science tutor. Right, so I'm looking into a Cambridge algebra portions of paper one using the June exam. So let's look into this. They're saying to us, express 3y squared minus 12y minus 15 in the form of 3 open bracket y plus a close bracket squared plus b. So we obviously see that to move from here to there, we need to complete the squares, right? So there is a shortcut version. Let me start you with the shortcut version. So you have 3y squared minus 12y minus 15, right? So first things first, whether you're doing the long version or the shortcut, you do need to factor out your a value such that the expression inside the bracket has an a value of 1. So you have 3 open bracket y squared minus 4y minus 5. Perfect. So let's look into the shortcut version of this towards the right hand side, this side. So the shortcut version is I appreciate there's a 3 that I've factored out. So what then I am going to do is I know I'll have to open my bracket like that and take this y, put it right there. This is a shortcut version. I half this negative 4, it will be minus 2. Then I write down my minus 5. I square this 2, I get a 4, then I subtract whatever answer I get from squaring. Right. So now I will have 3 open bracket, another bracket y minus 2 squared minus 9. Then I redistribute into 3 open bracket. That 3 doesn't look right, but 3 open bracket y minus 2 squared minus 27. So this 2 marks is actually allocated to you appreciating that your a value is negative 2 and your b value is negative 27. So this is where you're getting your answers, but we do need to see the working out, hence the space. Right. The actual method of completing the squares actually follows the following. So option 2 will be 3. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into what I call the perfect square trinomial. So what I'm going to do is for y squared, I keep the same, minus 4y. I'm going to add half of negative 4 squared, right? And at the same time, subtract half of negative 4 squared. Then I still have my minus 5. Okay. So what I have done here actually is I have turned this into a perfect square trinomial, but it's difficult for you to see it now. It's easier for people to see it when it's written like this. 3 open bracket y squared minus 4y plus 4. Then I have my minus 4 at the same time, then minus 5. So what I have done, I've added a 4 and subtracted a 4, so I've basically added a 0. I did not do anything. I did not disturb this in any way. What will happen is when you look at this, this is now a perfect square trinomial. So you have your 3, and it is a perfect square trinomial of y minus 2 squared. Then this will be your minus 9. If you check y minus 2 squared, it gives you y squared minus 4y plus 4. So you then distribute the 3 and you get this. Same answers as before, it's just that on the one on the right, it's a shortcut. This one is the actual approach, which is a little bit longer and tedious for many students, but tits for tat, whatever works for you, works for you. Okay, you have enough space to work with this. The next question, I like it when they say this. Because even though there's other approaches that you can use, it is advised to base this off your previous working out. They are saying, Hence, so based on your previous working out, find the exact solution for this particular equation. So we look at this equation, we're like, wait a minute, it looks like the previous one. The previous one was 3, instead it was y squared minus 12, y minus 15. And we said this can be expressed as 3, open bracket, y minus 2 squared minus 27. So, in the same spirit, similarly, in the same spirit, hence, okay, we can express this one that is given to us as 3, open bracket. Instead of y, it will be x squared, because now this was x to the 4 and this was x squared. So this will be x squared minus 2, so it keeps all its constants the way they are. Squared minus 27 equals to 0. So this is what that equates to. Right. And then the next thing that you need to do is to just solve for x. So you have x squared minus 2, close bracket, squared. Take the 27 to the other side, it becomes positive. You divide it by 3, it becomes a 9. Right. So we're happy with this. If we introduce a square root on both sides here, you'll get x squared minus 2 is actually plus or minus 3. Do not forget the plus or minus 3 when you introduce a square root on both sides. Many students do forget that, so do not. So what this means then is I like to break it up in a nice way that makes it easy for many students. So I like to say x squared minus 2 can be a positive 3, or x squared minus 2 can be a negative 3. Now it allows me to solve these individually. So x squared can be equals 5, and x squared can be equals to a negative 1, meaning that x can be plus or minus the square root of 5. It's irrational. And x can actually be equals to plus or minus I, which is the square root of negative 1, but we do not focus on this a lot. Okay, so there won't be any marks for this. However, this would be the answer. The answers here, you will get an answer for that, you would get an answer for that, and you would get, I think, an answer for both of these options. Right, like that. Okay, I'm not sure you can go through the marking guidelines of this paper. It's June 2024, paper 1-1. All right. The coefficient of x cubed in the expansion of 3 plus ax in brackets raised to the power of 6 is 160. Find the value of the constant a. Now, I know when you're looking at this, you're thinking, oh my God, now should I do 3 plus ax times 3 plus ax times 3 plus ax all the way to 6 times? No, this is not what we're expecting you to do, because we've already taught you the Pascal's triangle. All right, we've taught you the Pascal's triangle, and according to the Pascal's triangle, so if you have anything raised to the power of 0, it will be 1, right? So we're talking about a binomial here. Let's say I have a plus b, right? A plus b raised to the power of 0, it will be 1, and then these are the coefficients. By the way, I'll have a to the a plus b, like that. And if I have a plus b squared, so that will be 2, 1, 1, hence the a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, right? So let's just finish this Pascal's triangle so that everything becomes a little bit easier. So these are the coefficients. Let's work with the coefficients. 1, 1, 1. That's the bell. 2, 1, 1. Because these two give you that. These will give you 3, 3, and then we put a 1 and a 1. These two will give you a 4, a 6, a 4, and then 1, 1. These will give us a 5, a 10, a 10, and a 5. Then you put your 1, 1. Lastly, we get a 6, 15, 20, 15, 6, then 1, 1. So we realize that we are actually in the sixth power because zeroth power, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So these are the coefficients of our sixth power. So keep them in mind. Let me erase everything at the top because we don't need it anymore. Okay. So the coefficients of our sixth power, which are 1, 6, 15, 20, 15, 6, 1. All right. You will realize I do not need to rewrite everything, but I'll write the ones that are very important so that you understand how I get to the answer. The first one would be I put a 1 and it will be the 3 times the ax, but because it's raised to the power of 6, the 3 will first take the power of 6, the ax, the power of 0. Then I take the 6, this particular 6 right there. Then the 3, and then the ax. The 3 now is raised to the power of 5, but the ax to the power of 1 because the exponents must always add up to the power of 6. Then I go on the 15, I put my 3 and my ax. It will now be raised to the power of 4, this one to the power of 2, then plus. I realize, okay, wait, I'm going to put a 20 now. Then it's the 3 and the ax raised to the power of 3, raised to the power of 3. I think I need to stop here because the question spoke about the coefficient of x cubed. Actually, all I need is this because this is where I will find my x cubed. Everything else, it will now be x to the 4, x to the 5, and x to the 6. So I will stop there and do my working out from here. So now they are saying to me, if I have 20 times 3 cubed times my a cubed, it must give me 160. All right, so this is 27. 27 times 20, let's just quickly do it with my calculator. That's a 540. So you have a cubed is 160 over 540, and a cubed, I think that will be 8 over 27. 8 over 27, and if you introduce a cube root on both sides, it will be 2 over 3. There you go. You have solved for the value of your constant a.